Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys this morning about Module 3, Lesson 1. But before we begin, note that I don't have my paper like normal, and this won't stretch like it normally should, like where I can stretch it and make it cover the whole page. The reason is my smart notebook, which is what I usually show you guys this on, isn't working, and I'm actually online in order to show you our lesson for today. So take your notes like normal, hit pause like normal. It'll just, my screen's going to look a little weird for today, but just ignore it. So Module 3, Lesson 1, our I can statement is I can investigate and use formulas to find area and perimeter. If you recall, last week, a couple days ago, we actually did find area and perimeter, and that's where a lot of us got really, really stuck in one of those lessons. So this time we'll actually get to dive deeper into that and what this means. So moving on into fluency, this is our times table. This is what we would call squared numbers. So if I wrote 1 squared or 2 squared, you won't have to worry about that for a while, but just in case you see something like this at any point in time, that's just what all these mean. It just means 1 times 1, which is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 9. Ooh, Miss Kohler's on a roll tonight. 16, 25, 36. Let's see if you guys can figure these out. I know you got that last one, but let's go ahead and see if you can figure these out and write these in the fluency section of your math notebook. You can hit pause and play when as needed during this lesson. Alright, so going back, this is something you'll also see later down the road 3 times in this. I can have like an N here for number or an X to say number, not, timesing. So if you see something like that later down the road, it just is because it's a placeholder. So 3 times 4 is 12. And then the opposite of that would be 4 times 3 is 12. Sorry, my dog is really whiny today if you hear him in the background. So 4 times 6 is 24. And 3 times 8 is 24. 24 has got a lot of numbers that equal it. Alright, last ones, you're going to do these in your notebook under fluency again. So you're going to have some more numbers that you're multiplying by. Alright, now really quick, we're already in concept development today. This is a really fast lesson, or it's a fast-paced lesson, I should say. Draw a rectangle that is 4 units wide by 7 units long. For this one, you're going to watch me, and then you'll do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can always double check by going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I can complete my rectangle. And I know it's a rectangle because my sides aren't even. Now, when we were doing perimeter last week, we had some trouble with knowing this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also 1, 2, 3, 4. These two sides are the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these two sides are the same. And note that I'm going to show you that they're the same with 2 different lines. So I have the lines that are red with 1 are the same, and the lines with green with 2 are the same. What do you notice about this rectangle? Something I notice is it has groups of 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So what is the perimeter? Remember, the perimeter is the outside. It is the fence. Perimeter equals, let's see if Miss Kohler can type this faster. Perimeter equals outside. And to do that, you add all sides. All right. So to do this, I want to do 4 plus 4 because I know it's a rectangle. I had 2 of those. And then I'm going to add the 7 that's over here and the 7 that's over here. And when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and shorten it. I know I have 8 plus 14, which then gives me 22. My perimeter is 22. It says what is the most efficient way. I would argue that this is, but any way that you can add and you get the right answer is your efficient way. So whatever, if you wanted to add 7 plus 4 is 11, 7 plus 4 is 11, 11 plus 11 is 22, you can do that because that's how you were able to figure it out in your head. You don't have to do it Mrs. Kohler's way. You just have to come to the right conclusion. All right, the next one says, what is area? In what ways can you calculate area? What is the most efficient way? Well, for area, there's really only one way to calculate, but area is the inside. You times the length and width. So what that means I'm going to do 4 times 7, which gives me 28. Another way you can do it is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That eats up time. Our time is precious, guys. You don't want to spend 30 seconds counting 28 squares. So I would say that counting them individually is not. You can also say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, or let's have some fun and sing along to 7, 14, 21, 28. So I can count them by groups, which takes a little less time. But overall, if you guys get fluent in knowing your math like this, whoops, you guys will be able to calculate them just like that. And I'm snapping my fingers, but you can't see me, so I don't know why I'm doing that. All right, moving along. Sorry, I told you my thing's not working today. All right, let's practice one more time with where I'm doing it, and then you're going to write it in your notebook, and you're going to solve it. So draw a rectangle that is 3 units wide. Easy. 1, 2, 3. And 9 units long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my 3 again. And going back up. Label the length and the width. So it says 3 units wide. 3. 3, and I'm going to choose a different color to help me out, and 9 units long. 9, 9. Can we use the formula below to find the perimeter? So what it's saying is it wants us to take, it's saying that is half. 9 and a 3 over here, and a 9 and a 3 over here, and there's 2 sets. There's one set of 9 and 3, 2 sets of 9 and 3. So it wants me to add 3 plus 9. And it's in parentheses, so that's what it wants me to do first. And then I'm going to multiply that number by 2. Whoa, what is that doing? There we go. My pen had a mind of its own. All right. Let's try it. Well, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 here, times it by 2. Well, I can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24. So there we go, it's 24. But I can also do it the way that I showed you earlier and go 9 plus 9 plus 3 plus 3. When I double 9s, 9 doubled is 18, plus 6, 3 doubled, which is 6, which when I add them together equals 24. So that proved that either way, I got the same for perimeter. All right, your turn. So hopefully the human Mrs. Kohler has remembered to pass you out the paper you need to do this. If not, raise your hand and say, Miss Kohler, I need the graph paper. And you guys are going to do this one, where you're going to draw a rectangle that is 5 units wide and 6 units long. After you do that, you're going to count and you're going to figure out the perimeter beside it. Remember, the perimeter is just the outside. It's what we did right here. So if you need to rewind the show and go back, please do so. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. So if you need a pause, now's the time to do it so you don't get any spoilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me double count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Coming over. Coming up. All right, I remembered this is 6. This is 6. This is 5. This is 5. Remember, I have, two sets of a 6 and a 5. So here's one group. Here's two groups. Well, 6 plus 5 equals 11. And I need 2 of those. So I need 2 times 11, which I know is 22, and there's my perimeter. If you want to double check again with 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 6 is 12, and then 10 plus 12 equals 22. See? Perimeter is easy. Just whoop, whoop. Oh no. Count the sides. Alright. Now we're going to go on into area. And we already did the 9 and 3, so I'm going to save me some time of drawing and go back up here. So now we're going to do area, and I'm going to do area in green. Remember, area is everything inside the box. It's like the rug on my carpet. So if we wanted to ever figure out how many square feet it is or square meters, we can measure it and figure it out. So to figure out that, I do length times width. In fact, I'm actually just going to go, won't let me just move that section. Darn. Alright, so area equals length times width. And I know what you're thinking, Miss Kohler, why is there letters? That's weird. It's abbreviations. Remember how I said I like to shorthand my notes? That's all this is. It's shorthanding instead of writing. Area is length times width. It's right there. That's what it means. So I'm going to say 9 times 3 is my area. And then area equals 27. Good job. And I can double check with 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So I was able to group them and count and double check that my answer was right. I don't know what's going on with my mouse. All right. So our next one. You guys have no idea how annoying this computer is today. All right. 2 times 4. We haven't done that one yet. So I'm going to go 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back up. So this is just telling me to do 2 times 4. Guys, what's 2 times 4? Yep, 8. That's my area, and I'll double check. 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go. I double checked. I counted the inside. 2, 4, 6, 8. Pretty easy, right? I thought so. Alright, so on that same graph paper, you guys are going to do this and find the area again. So if you don't want any spoilers while you're trying to work, go ahead and hit pause. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come over, come up. 6 times 5 equals 30. because I know 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, but I'll double check 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep, there's 30 squares in there, therefore it has to be it. Now the reason we don't always want to have to count the squares is this whole thing is rather big. If I had something large, I wouldn't want to go and count every little dot. So that's why it's extremely important to be able to say, okay, I know my multiplication. So, like we did at the very beginning with our fluency practice, remember how we had that blank spot, 3 times blank equals 12? Similar concept, except for now we're using area and one of the measurements. So I could easily write it. I know 10 times something gives me 50. And look, I'm double checking. Both of my things are in centimeters. So what would this be? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I know it's 5 centimeters. Because that's when I multiply those, that's what I would get to get this 50 in the middle. All right, double checking it with this one, 8 and 32. So I know 8 times something gives me 32. And this one's in meters. 8, 16, 24, 32. So it would be 4 meters. Alright guys, now in your notes, this one's tricky, I know, because it's sevens, but I think you can do it. I want you to go ahead and do this. You're going to figure out what that missing measurement is. If you don't want any spoilers, hit pause. So I know 63 equals 7 times something. And it's in centimeters again. So I can go ahead and write centimeters. Well, let's do our song that we've been working on. Let's have some fun and sing along to 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63. So if you were using your fingers to help figure it out, you'll find out it's 9 centimeters. And 9 times 7 is 63. Ta-da! So now not only do you know how to find perimeter and to find area, now you know how to find the missing side. Look at that. We learned so much today. That's amazing. Alright, the rectangle has an area of 24 squares. What are all the possible lengths and widths? Fill out the table below. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off with a really easy one. The area is the inside. 1 times 24 and 24 times 1. Because that just means one looks long and skinny and one looks fat and short. So I want you to think of all the ways that we can equal 24. 1 times 24, I'll give you a hint. One of them is 12. 2 times 12, good job. Alright, what could be next? 3 times 8, good job. You don't have to write this down, guys. I'm proving something here. Alright, what about 4? It's the last one. Good job, 6. And it's always the backwards too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ways that we can make a rectangle with 24 units. I know it says square units. That's because if you look at the grid, those are squares in the middle. It's the same length as it is width, but the whole thing is a rectangle because none of these sides are equal. So that's kind of cool. And each of these would have different perimeters because each of these have different lengths and sides. So that was a fairly simple lesson today. It took less than 20 minutes. So right now you're going to do your problem set. I'm going to write it on the board. And it should be really simple today. You guys were so smart, and I appreciate all your guys' hard work. And don't forget, if you have any questions, to raise your hand, and me or Miss Bree will come help you. Thanks, guys.